Just remember a little bit. Talking about plotting points. You all know how to plot points. We've plotted points the whole first semester. So we're not going to plot points today. There's no reason. We are going to do some formulas and some thinking things because we're still in a thinking mode. Do you know the distance formula between 2 points? This is distance?
Yeah.
X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared? Did you know that?
No.
I know you have seen it much in the past. Okay, this is distance. Do you know midpoint?
That would be.
I knew it, but I forgot it.
Yeah.
This is midpoint.
This is like the average.
It is the average. Yes, it is the average. It is average of the x's, average of the y's. You are correct. So, can we do a hard example?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have those written down so I can take them off screen? I said it was hard, right? I'm going to give you 2 points, right? Radical 5, negative radical 2. 4 radical 5 and negative 7 radical 2. I want you to find the distance between these 2 points. Isn't the distance equal to square root of 4 radical 5 minus radical 5 squared plus negative 7 radical 2 plus radical 2 squared? Is that the way we set it up? Okay, I know that you're thinking I'll just type this in my calculator, but you're going to have to use your brain a little bit because I want an exact answer. What is this? What's 4 radical 5 minus radical 5? What's 3 radical 5 squared? You can do that on your calculator if you need to. Huh? 45? Because it's 3 squared times radical 5 squared? Right? So this is 45 plus, what is this? Isn't this negative 6 radical 2? Which is what?
72.
So I believe this is, right? Was that okay? Can you do that? You're okay?
Do you want us to reduce the radical?
Will it reduce?
3 radical 13?
3 radical 13? Yes. My book didn't reduce it. Now, how do I find the midpoint? Can I add the x's, which gives me what? I get when I add the x's?
5 radical 5.
5 radical 5. So is the midpoint equal to 5 radical 5, oops, over 2? Is that the x? What's the y?
4 negative 4
Not over anything, is it? Okay, is that all right? This is the midpoint. You remember that? That is the absolute hardest one there was in the group.
So we're just doing distance here.
No, we are not. We are also just kind of doing a variety of things to see if you remember. All right, if I give you these points, this is still distance, by the way. Five, 0. And negative 5, 1. I want to know if I were to plot these and graph them, would it be a right triangle?
No.
Why do you say no? You can picture it because you're saying this is negative 2, 4. This is 5, 0. And this is negative 5, 1. Okay. We agree? What if I wasn't sure?
Wrap it out. Oh. Yes, you can do that.
What if I gave you this one? This time, 1, 3, 3, 1, and 0, negative 2. Now I don't know.
Let's say no.
You said get the distance. Okay. So how far is it between these 2 points? Okay, all I'm doing to get distance is subtracting the x and squaring it, and subtracting the y and squaring it, right? So isn't this 4 when I subtract this minus this? Radical 4 plus 4? Do you all agree? What's the, this is what, 2 radical 2. I know you were saying it, Chandler. But I was getting a couple frowns. Okay, what about these 2? Isn't this 9 plus, what is this? 9? Which is 3 radical 2, correct? Now, what about these 2? Isn't the first one 1? And this is, so, radical 26. So is 2 radical 2 squared plus 3 radical 2 squared equal to radical 26 squared. This is 8. plus 18. Is that Pythagorean theorem? So this one was a no, but this one was a yes, because Pythagorean theorem worked. Does that make sense to you? All right. What if I give you the problem, x squared plus y equals 1? I want to know, is this a solution? What does it mean if it's a solution? I can plug it in and it works? It does? Oh, I don't think so. No. What about this one? Yes? Did you get that in your head? Good job. Okay, last thing. If I give you the problem, like this, the directions say identify the set of values x for which y will be a real number, which basically means what can x be? What would make this undefined? What would make it undefined? X was what? Well, how about if x was 3? Would that make it undefined? Because it'd make 0 in the denominator? If x is 3, right? So, well, actually, what it says is x can't equal 3. Because it can be greater, be smaller. Just can't be 3. Does that make sense to you? Now, what if they do something like this? Under the radical, y equals 1.5 minus x. What has to happen under a radical? We're only talking about real numbers. What has to happen under a radical? No, not necessarily. I just want it to be a real number. So does it have to be 0 or bigger under the radical to be a real number? Right? I'm not talking about odds. So would you agree that 1.5 minus x has to be greater than or equal to 0? How can I solve for x? Can I subtract 1.5? Negative x is greater than or equal to negative 1.5. What happens when I divide by negative? So x is less than or equal to 1.5? And that's my restriction for x. Make sense? Just kind of a variety of things bringing back